Victoria Police get a bit of a belting in the Age today from a report to the state government saying that police evidence criticising the Catholic Church over child abuse was unfair. You really led the way on that. And then there was the report prepared by the Chief Commissioner. It says that the police were sort of being almost self-protective and hadn't done enough. What was your reaction to that?
Well, I think there were certainly times in previous years when we didn't challenge what was happening enough, and certainly the report's accurate when it says that. We probably would have been through the latter part of when Deputy Sir Ken James was on board that we started to really feel that things weren't happening in the way they should have in relation to matters being reported to us and the frustrations being felt. So it was around that time that, and certainly when I came on board as the Assistant Commissioner for Crime, following on from Sir Ken picking up on those issues, felt the same. So I think, I think it was certainly we put a hand up and say certainly we didn't challenge it enough back then.
Why?
I think because the church in those instances held almost all the information, so you needed to get information from those authorities, and usually the best way to try and get the information is in a cooperative way. We often don't know where documents are, where they're held, in order to go and get them. It's a Herculean task. So having an organisation like that in a cooperative mode to hand over materials is the way to go. But it certainly became obvious that that was proving a difficult task to us.
It would seem that, if the police, we are talking about history, I know, but if the police were serious, surely they would be able to seize documents, wouldn't they?
Yeah, you can only really seize the documents though if you know where they are. That's the thing. You can go in with a search warrant and come up empty-handed. That regularly happens to us. So you need actually good information on where documents are stored or other materials that, in fact, you're searching for. We certainly, though, didn't wait for the parliamentary inquiry before we voiced our concerns. I think it might have said in the report that we only sort of distanced ourselves once this inquiry started. Well, we did raise the flag, and indeed I was on your show talking about this prior to the...
Yeah, well, you said that they had reported nothing. And you stand by all that?
Stand by everything in the report. The parliamentary report didn't criticise any of the evidence in our report. So yeah, we stand by that.
So you'd say that, in summary, you'd say that the police didn't perhaps show enough or do enough initially, and that's reasonably recent. You're talking about it being addressed, because Ken Jones, only 3 years ago? Yeah,
about 3 years ago. No doubt our members, well, as is evidenced in the materials we put forward, our members were experiencing frustrations prior to that, but it didn't really manifest itself into command-taking action until about that time. And certainly, we've always put a hand up to say we've always can do better in this area, and that's why we reformed our sexual assault investigation methods and the whole approach to dealing with sexual assault around that time.
Is the church more cooperative now?
Certainly, we've had increasing cooperation and referrals from towards healing. That's as I'm advised, that's come a fair way. I'm not aware of any reports we've received from Melbourne Response yet, though. Any referrals.
Okay. So that some cases have been raised?
Yes.
Talking Melbourne.